Are you sure that your product is not a medical device? Yes, no, maybe? Then listen to this episode. I'll provide you some important tips as there are some changes coming. Let's talk about that now. Welcome to episode 3 of the Medical Device Made Easy podcast, the place to learn how to place a compliant medical device on the market. I'm your host, Mounir El Azzouzi, and today I will help you to define if your product is a medical device in Europe. Okay, why Europe? Because there is a new regulation that is arriving, like a tsunami, and I want you to be ready for it. I talked about that on episode 2, so if you missed it, don't hesitate to download it in your preferred platform. It's the episode related to the Medical Device Regulation 2017-745. Yes, the famous one. I'll review with you the important things to consider to be sure that your product is a medical device, and we'll talk also of the newcomers, the ones that have no medical purpose, but they will be considered as medical devices. You'll learn more about that. What I'm sure is after this episode, you'll be considered as the go-to person to tell if a product is a medical device. So let's go, let's dive in. First, I want you to answer one question. What makes it difficult to define if a product is a medical device? My answer is the fact that there is a huge variety of products that even an expert can be lost on. Is a wood stick, for example, the one that is used to push the tongue down, a medical device? As it's used by a doctor, we estimate that yes, but the same stick used on an animal will not be considered a medical device in Europe. But it will be considered as a medical device in USA, where all the veterinary products are also regulated under the FDA definition. So there is a variety of products, and it's always difficult for some people to define if this is a medical device. The other thing is about technologies. There are new technologies that are coming, so it's difficult also to see if a technology is a medical device just because maybe it's on your iPhone or it's something that is not looking specifically for medical usage. For example, the Apple Watch. This is viewed usually just as a watch, but as now it contains an algorithm to detect anomalies of your cardiac functions, then it's considered as a medical device. So yeah, you maybe have a medical device on your wrist now. The other thing is about all the new regulations. And as I've told before about FDA and all those regulations, there are the EU MDR, the FDA, also the pharma regulation. There are some products that are borderline. So it's really difficult for some people to define if a product is a medical device or not. In a region, it can be a medical device, but in another, it cannot be a medical device. So it's also the difficulty when you are a manufacturer that is trying to sell your products all over the world. You will maybe have to hire some people that are polyvalent in terms of regulations, that knows about pharma, about medical device, about cosmetic, about biocides, because this can be really different from one region to the other. But we'll stick specifically on the European Union for now, if you are okay. And to do that, I will help you, as I've said, to how to define if a product is a medical device, and we'll do that with 3 steps. There are 3 steps that I consider important to follow, and more you go on the steps, more it's a deep dive in the regulations. So first we'll start with step 1. Step 1 is mainly the medical device definition in Europe. This is the medical device definition coming from the MDR 2017-745, and I will read that to you, but don't worry, it's a long definition. What I've done is also I try to shorten it. I call it the Mounir's definition. So let's look at that. So let me read that to you slowly. A medical device means an instrument, apparatus, appliance, software, implant, reagent, material, or other article intended by the manufacturer to be used alone or in combination for human beings for one or more of the following specific medical purposes. So diagnosis, prevention, monitoring, prediction, prognosis, treatment, or alleviation of disease. This is the first kind of category. Then we have diagnosis, monitoring, treatment, alleviation of or compensation for an injury or disability. Then we have investigation, replacement, or modification of the anatomy or of a physiological or pathological process or state. Then we have providing information by means of in vitro examination of specimens derived from the human body, including organ, blood, and tissue donations. And this is also an important part after that. We have, and which does not achieve its principal intended action by pharmacological, immunological, or metabolic means in or on the human body, but which may be assisted in its function by such means. It means that the primary intention should not be that, but it can be assisted by that. And we have the last part, which is the following products shall also be deemed to be medical devices. Devices for the control or support of conception, and products specifically intended for the cleaning, disinfection, or sterilization of devices, as referred to in Article 1.4, and of those referred in the first paragraph of this point. Okay, so as I said, it's really a big block, but when you look at it, there are kind of 4 paragraphs or 4 sections. So I tried to summarize all those 4 sections, and here is my piece of art, if I can say. Okay, let's start. So my definition is product for human use which has a medical device purpose. Okay, this is the first part. The second part is that act on disease, injuries, disabilities, anatomy, or physiological or pathological states, or provide information through in vitro examination. Okay, this is the part where we had all the different categories of problems that a person can have. Then it should not be a drug. And the last one is an additional list of products to include. And it's mainly the control of support of conception and intended for cleaning, disinfection, or sterilization of devices. Okay, I hope it's clearer. But yeah, as I've said, it's a long definition. It can include a lot of things inside, but each word is really important for you to listen. What is also important for you to understand is the fact that the medical device is one thing, but when you are using a medical device, you can also use some accessories with this medical device. And it's clear now on the medical device regulation that an accessory is also considered as a medical device. So you should not just make an evaluation of your medical device itself, you should also make an evaluation of your accessories in terms of classification, in terms of Annex 1, so all the elements that you have to check. So this is really important also for you to consider. There is now the medical device definition. There is the accessories also, which is also considered as a medical device. But there is another kind of definition that you have also to take into account. And we talked about that a bit on the medical device definition, which is the definition of intended use. And maybe this should be kind of the first definition to look at before even to look at the medical device definition, because it's really an important one to understand. What is the intended use of a medical device? The intended use of a medical device is defining everything, if I can say. A medical device or products can be totally different if its intended use is not really the one of a medical device. What do I mean by that? So for example, let's take a scalpel manufacturer. So this scalpel manufacturer decided to put its device on the market, but on the instruction for use it says that this is only intended to be used on laboratory conditions to cut non-alive organism, for example. So it's clear that the intention of this manufacturer is not to sell a medical device. The intention is to sell a product for laboratory. But a similar product, let's say it's exactly the same scalpel, it's exactly the same thing. But another manufacturer takes the same scalpel with the same characteristic and he puts on the instruction for it that this is intended specifically to be used in a surgery room. So that is specifically intended to be used on a patient during a surgery. So it's exactly the same products, but one is not a medical device because the intention is not for it to be used in a surgery room, and the other one is a medical device because its intention is really to be used on a patient. So you see that a same product that can be maybe a medical device for you is not, because of the intended use. So you have really to be careful on these things. Okay, I think we are clear now on the medical device definition with also the accessories and the intended use. But if now it's not clear enough for you, let me confuse you a bit more. So we have now the step 2. So you defined if your product is a medical device with step 1, you say no. Okay, let's go now to step 2. So step 2 is about the newcomers, so new products that are now considered as a medical device. And this is products that are listed on Annex 16th of the medical device regulation. This annex is listing some products, and I will just give you some example because it lists kind of a definition of products, but I will translate that in real products just for you. So this first kind of product is contact lenses. So contact lenses are medical devices, but in that case we are talking about contact lenses that are used in just for example to color your eyes, and this is more eye aesthetic product. Those products before were not considered as medical devices, and now they will be considered as medical devices. The second one is eye aesthetic implants. So sometimes you are asking to have implants on your body, but it's not for a medical purpose, it's just because of eye aesthetic. So this is also something that is now considered as a medical device. The third one is fillers, so wrinkle fillers, for example, Botox, hyaluronic acid that we are using to also as an aesthetic product, has no medical purpose. The equipments for liposuction are also now considered as medical devices. They are used to remove some adipose tissue. So this is also an aesthetic product. It has no medical purpose at all. There are some new kinds of products that are also coming to the market, which are some light pierced products to remove hair or to remove some tattoos from the skin. These now will be considered as medical devices. Then we have the last one, which is brain stimulation equipment. So this is a product that is used apparently to provide some magnetic or some electrical currents on your brain to stimulate your brain and maybe to acquire some information. So this is also now considered as medical device. So you see there are some newcomers, and these newcomers will need now to follow the medical device regulation, which is, I think, a challenge for them. Why? Because as I've said on the previous episode, there was a KPMG report saying that apparently around 80% of the medical device manufacturers were not fully aware of what is the medical device regulation. So I imagine that if a medical device company is not fully aware of what is the medical device regulation, non-medical device company is not aware at all, I suppose. So I think it will be really a challenge for those companies who are used to have no regulation to now being obliged to follow the medical device regulation. So it's also important for them to understand what they need to do, to understand that they have to have clinical data, that they have to put in place a quality management system specific for medical devices, that they have to pass an audit for certification to be able to sell all their products to Europe. So I'm really here to inform those companies that they need to start their journey to the medical device world now. Okay, so these are the newcomers. Now let's go to step 3. Step 3 is mainly for products that are a bit exotic. When I say exotic, is that there are some borderline products. So it's products that are can be considered as medical device, or can be considered as pharmaceutical or cosmetic or biocide. For all those products, it can be really difficult to define if this is a medical device or not. But the European Union created the manual for borderline products. So this is a manual that is frequently updated, so you can also have a look at it. And it helps you to define if a product is a medical device. And even when it says yes, it's a medical device, it helps you to also define the classification of this medical device. So it's maybe a tool that you should use sometime. I ask you even to look at it now, not waiting to ask yourself if this is a medical device or not. It could be great just that you have a look, you see specifically what kind of products are there, just for your curiosity. I will put the links of this on the show notes, so don't worry. I will put everything on the show notes. You'll just have to click and it will open to you. Okay, so now I think you have enough tools or enough advices to define if your product is a medical device in Europe specifically. But remember that it can be really different in the other regions. So you have then to do also the same exercise if you are selling your products to USA, to Brazil, to China, or to another place all over the world. But to help you, I also created some tools or some resources. So the first resource is a questionnaire that I created that is called "Is my product a medical device?" So it's clear. So I'll put also the link on the show notes. It's a questionnaire that is breaking down the definition of a medical device, and you'll have to answer each piece of the questions. If I can say to at the end receive the answer, yes, my product is a medical device, or no, it's not a medical device. What I've done also is I've made an article on my blog regarding the medical device definition, and it's looking at the definition in Europe, but also USA, Brazil, China, so to make some kind of comparison of it. So it's also a resource worth to have. Okay, so let's summarize. So if you want to define if your product is a medical device, first you look at the intended use of your products and you check if it's matching the definition. And don't forget, accessories to a medical device are also medical devices. Step 2, you have to check to Annex 16th of the medical device regulation and look if your product is matching one of the definition on this annex. This is new medical devices without medical purpose. So it's also something that is new to the European Union. And then finally, if you are still a bit lost, you have the manual for borderline products, which helps you to define if some of the products that are at the limit of pharma or biocide or cosmetic are medical devices or not. So I think with all this, you are, I hope, the go-to person now to be asked if a product is a medical device. Okay, to continue your journey on the medical device regulation, I created a free mini course. So if you want to register to it, you receive a 6-day course, so some emails during 6 days that you'll have to read with some text to read, some video to watch, some documents to download. All of these are free, so you just have to register to it, and I'll put the link on the show notes. And last thing also is that I just created something, I can say like a gadget, but it's just Alexa skill. So if you have an Alexa device, an Amazon Alexa device, just maybe for you to test it. It's a countdown, so it tells you how many days are remaining until the application of the new medical device regulation. So it's called How Many Days, and this is something that you can download with the link that I will put on the show notes. And to activate it, there is 2 kinds of sentences. The first sentence is Alexa, open how many days? Or the second is Alexa, ask how many days until the new medical device regulation. So when you say that, normally it should tell you how many days are remaining. So please, if you can test it and give me some information if it's working or not, it would be really great. I'm really a newbie now on the Alexa devices, so I'm trying to learn more and maybe then to provide you some more sophisticated skills for your learning journey on the medical device regulation. So thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, and I'll see you then on the next episode. So thank you very much. Bye for now. Ciao.